now, huh?
Yeah, I moved.
Oh, cool.
Am
You're
I?
using your
I've got
VPN?
everything else. Oh, there I am. Yeah. This new.
You're
This is the
using a
first time I've done
VPN, huh?
that. Well, I don't know what one of them is. Yeah, I've been on one for
Are
ages.
you using a VPN?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because normally this thing picks up where you're at really good. I didn't realize it because the first time I tried to log into this platform, it said, "Oh, we don't recognize any of those other cities." So I finally ended up typing in Copenhagen, and it said, "Okay, we recognize that one." So
Right. Mine
yeah, it was the
originally.
only city that registered in Denmark.
Yeah. Yeah, because yours comes up with a proper place now, doesn't it? What does mine say? What does mine say?
Yours said at Los Angeles, something
I'm in
like,
Los
or no,
Angeles.
New York. New York, you got
All
to
right,
say.
New York.
Yeah,
I've only got it
yeah.
on a small screen. What do I need to do now? Is that as big as it gets?
Yeah, unless I put you up on the bigger screen. Like if I can go
Right.
like
I see.
this. Let me see. There we go. Oh, and we need to shift this one to that position. No, how do I do that? I need to push you up there. There we go.
There I am
Nope.
now. No, it's just me there now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the first time I've done
Put
that.
me up in the other corner. This is my guest speaker, taxi driver, and all-around good guy, Mick Beavers. Welcome to the show,
Yeah.
Mick.
Hello, everybody. Shall I read the Happs thing? Where is it? It doesn't show it on there, does it? About why I'm using Happs. That's what I
Oh
always read
yeah,
it out when I do a broadcast. I always read it out because somebody's put an awful lot of money into this, and it'd be nice for them if it actually managed to succeed. Because a lot of them go by the wayside, don't they?
yeah. Happs offers free world-class broadcasting tools, a community eager to collaborate, and a simple way for viewers to support creators financially.
Yeah, I usually
How
read
do
that
I
out.
explain? You can read that part.
I can't see it.
Oh, it's in the chat, the top part of
Is
the
it?
chat.
Some
Yeah, if you
looking.
scroll the chat up, it'll show
Go on
up.
then. I'll do it. Here we go. How do I explain Happs to my audience? Here are some suggestions, but feel free to make it your own. Hi everyone. Today I'm using Happs, an exciting new platform that makes it super easy for me to simultaneously broadcast to all of my social channels and see all of your comments in one place. If you're enjoying my broadcast, I encourage you to download the Happs app today and subscribe for full content. You'll even get 100 free coins for joining, which you can use to support my work.
No, my
which is
work.
worth which is actually worth 10 cents, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool because you know what I've been doing is every time I get like maybe a couple hundred coins, I just give them to somebody, like some of the other creators. So I'm almost always constantly running on zero because it takes a few I think 4 days and you can build up something like 100. Yeah, I
I'm
think
on
you could
about
build up like 100 credits in a
right.
couple of days.
Yeah, I'm on I think I had 1,000 and I gave them to you.
I just give them back. I mean, I give them to
thanks.
other creators.
Yeah,
I mean, I give
I
them to other
right.
creators a lot of times, because like
Yeah.
I figured, like when I see something that looks good and that looks like somebody's put something into, they put some effort into it, then I just, go ahead and give them some few credits here and there.
I think I've gone. I've also gone
Yeah, but
live on my channel as
I
well.
got a lot of people. I got a lot of people looking at the videos that I was doing about cryptocurrencies and Hex especially.
I don't know who Hex is.
Yeah, Hex is another platform that I got involved with because one day when I got a wild hair up my butt, I thought, oh, I'm just going to go over there and look at some of these different cryptocurrencies and see which one I'm going to invest in. And so I was on YouTube and I was going down through this list of different cryptocurrency videos.
One thing.
And
Noob. It's all right. I've gone live. It also goes live on my Facebook because I've come in on yours. So you're actually on my Facebook as well.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
realize that.
one of the nice things. The features here is what they do is they cross pollinate each other's account. So
Mm,
my videos will show up on your account, and your videos will show up on my account.
mm.
So
That's
yours
cool,
and
isn't it?
like it crisscrosses, and it's like really cool because when you look at where it says my feed in the drop down menu, if you click
Yeah.
on my feed, it shows whatever videos you've been in and like you and I have been in together. So it's really cool the way they did it. It's good design.
Ah, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It hasn't quite synced up with the comments. It does say that it goes between different, different things like YouTube and stuff like that should all merge in the same comments. But I haven't found that yet, to be honest. Unless I've done something wrong, I should have just done that.
Well,
Because
with the
originally that's what
comments,
I
I'm
thought.
getting comments from YouTube. So far, I've gotten comments from YouTube and Facebook, but I think I've only gotten one comment from Twitter before
Yeah, yeah. I had
show
something
up.
the other week when we were on there. Hello, everybody on my Facebook, which is Stuart and Mark and Ryan Boyce and Dara, bless him.
Are they
And
there now?
yeah, Swepo Yankano. There is some different names about. Yeah, they're on my Facebook on Mick Reviews on
Okay,
Facebook,
cool.
and it also
Howdy,
goes out
folks.
on Periscope and on my
So
YouTube
one of
channel.
those things that I want to talk to you about because you're a driver.
Hmm.
Do you find yourself walking very often on your sidewalks in your town?
No, I don't walk very far at all.
You don't walk
It's been,
anywhere, right?
and I should do, yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I really need to take some exercise because since this lockdown thing, I've just got really, really lazy, completely lazy, and
Yeah.
and bigger and fatter. You know what I mean? It's just turning up everywhere. But so it would be a good thing if I
I've
could
gotten
actually.
thinner.
Have you really?
I went from 90 kilos down to 85 kilos.
Yeah. I must have put a stone. Well, I don't know what that is, but I must have put a stone on at the very least because it's always been
I
nice,
don't
isn't it?
know if
You know,
it's
you
a
always
stone or 3 stones or 5 stones. I don't know what stones
Five
are.
kilos is what's 5 kilos is 2.5 bags of sugar, isn't it? Basically, in this country.
Okay.
So if you imagine putting those in your pocket and walking up and down the stairs with them, you'd be pleased to put them down, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's the way I always think about when you lose weight. If somebody says, "Oh yeah, work it out into bags of sugar," put that amount of weight in 2 shopping bags and see how fed up you were after you've walked a mile with it. But you've been walking miles with it for years. It's just the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I've continued to eat one meal a day, which I've been doing for like 30 years. But the thing that
Yeah,
I changed that I noticed the biggest change is when I changed and I went to an all protein diet. So all I eat now is fish, eggs, chicken, and beef.
yep.
I don't eat any pastas, no, really nothing. My
No,
diet is really boring. It's not even a diet. I just think it's just something I wanted to test out, see how I
yeah.
feel.
It's a bit like the
Um,
ketogenic diet, isn't it? It's
yeah,
very, very
ketogenic.
simple.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. My wife's
it's
on that.
all like all protein.
Yeah,
Because I mean, if you think about it, at some point in time, our ancestors all they did was eat meat.
yeah.
They weren't thinking about growing vegetables.
No,
And you look at the difference of vegetables, the genealogy. If you
yeah,
saw old pictures of wild corn, these little ears of corn were just really tiny little things. So they've
right.
developed them and kind of like cultivated them to be bigger ears of corn over the years, over the
Mm,
centuries, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's the same with the
Yeah.
big thing about vegetable oil and stuff like that over the years. You know, I remember them saying to us, "Oh, you need to cook in vegetable oil. It's a lot more healthy." Nobody ever actually showed you that it was any more healthy, but we all just got on the bandwagon, and it's the most processed thing you can get. You might as well drink. You might as well cook your food in diesel, really.
Well, yeah, the cooking part of it was something else that I saw one documentary. They were talking about the fact that if you cooked carrots, you could eat more of them because you weren't spending so much time chewing. So
Right.
it's like a way of yeah, it's a way of just speeding up the way you eat. And I was thinking that kind of like, wow, that's kind of funny. Think about it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. So how many steaks do you
Yeah.
eat a day then? Do you eat 2 or 3 steaks at a time, or just small amounts of them? Or?
No, it's a funny thing is I've gotten down to where I eat 250 grams of beef, whether it be a steak or hamburger meat, and then
Mm,
I eat a couple of eggs and sometimes a big glass of coffee or a big glass
mm,
of water, and that's
mm.
usually it for the whole day.
Really? That is.
Yeah.
There's no wonder you're losing
Well,
weight then, and you're walking a lot.
yeah, I walk about anywhere from 800 to 8,000 to 13,000 paces a day. Thanks to my phone, it tells me how
Yeah.
much I walk.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. But when I look at
Yeah.
mine, it's something like 40. Hello, Scott.
Okay. To the
You know what
car
I mean?
and to the house. To the
Well, that's
car
it. Yeah.
and to the house.
Ran out the back of out the car into the put stuff in the back of it, carry it up somebody's path. I mean, it's probably a bit more than that because obviously you don't have your phone in your pocket all day, but because it's in the car. But very,
Yeah.
very little. I mean, I once we went to Florida with the grandkids, and there was one day I looked. I'd had the phone in my pocket all day. And when I looked, I'd done something like 11 kilometers, which is the furthest I've
Wow.
walked. I haven't walked that far since.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
nearly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I have to because of Trey, but I mean, it was a godsend that I got him when I did because I had just had that operation on my neck and I was finding myself wanting to lay down all the time because I just
mm,
didn't feel like sitting up all the time because my throat was in a lot of pain. And then because he was a pup, he always had to go out 2 or 3 times a day. There he is.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So I ended up
yeah.
getting
That's
up
it.
off my butt and walking a lot more.
I need to take the cat for a walk. That's what I need.
Yeah.
I need to get the cat walking. The cat's not been very well
The
this
cat
week.
will
We've
just
been
be there.
distraught.
The
I had to
cat will
take the
just be
cat.
there like this, and you'll be dragging it along.
Well, I took him down. I took him down to the vets the other day, and the vet's like, "Oh, well, it could be cancer, and it could be this, and it could be that." And anyway, it wasn't. They give him an injection. He's all right now. Scott, he says, "What mix would you recommend, mate? That's not pricey. If you look for the heavy hitter from Heavy Metal Vapor, you'll pay about 50 quid for it, and it's an absolute steal. It's a cracking thing. Obviously, you'll need an RDA to go on the top of it. It's 28 mil, and it comes with two different tops to it, so you can." I think one's 26 and one's 28. That, to be honest, that would be the one. It's a 21-700, and there's no point in looking at anything else, to be honest, because I've got
What the hell are you
100
talking about?
about mech mods, about these mechanical mods. I'm just answering somebody that was talking to me on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Me what to buy. He was asking me what to buy. I bought that. We actually interviewed the guy on our vape show that designed it. It's a
That
cracking
looks
piece
like
of
it's made
equipment.
out of wood.
No, it's made out of metal. It's made out of it's made
Oh, I
out of
was just
copper.
gonna say. I was gonna say it looks kind
Yeah.
of like it's got a wood finish to it.
No, it's made out of
Okay.
it's black cerakoted copper, and it's a beast.
Oh,
It's an
wow.
absolute beast. And the retail at 50 quid. Well, I've got a Purge, which is a different one from America, which retail at 170. So you could buy 3 for the same price, and that is better.
Wow.
It's a
So
Logitech Stream Cam.
that's a real lifestyle for you now. I mean, what kind of oils or whatever do you put in that? Do you put in the scented or flavored ones or?
One thing to point out is you never put oil in an e-cigarette because that's where that makes you ill. It's vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol, if I can, and obviously flavorings. So you never vape anything that's oil because that would kill you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That would then, if you remember the vaping deaths in America, they called it a Varley, and it was people using cartridges,
Essential
and they were
oils or something?
no, it was to do with getting high. So they were putting this stuff in, and they were using an accelerant which was oil based, and obviously you inhale it, and it sets like concrete on your lungs, and it was killing them. So the
Wow.
Americans have used that to ruin a perfectly good industry that was 95% safer than smoking cigarettes? Because I mean, some people can't stop smoking cigarettes.
I did.
Mm.
I did. I did the same time when I got my dog and I had this operation. I went to light a cigarette one day after, and I smoked for many, many years.
Mm.
I
I
don't
did
know,
30.
25, 30 years
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Yeah. I just went to smoke a cigarette and I just go, I don't want it. And I
That
stopped
was
cold
brilliant.
turkey.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I
But
tried a few times.
that was after the operation. So it was something, maybe it was the
You
idea
never
that
know.
I had
Mm.
that pain in my throat and I didn't feel like smoking at that time. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, well, that's
Because I've
good.
been
That's
sick
good
with
then.
have you ever been sick with the flu and you wanted to smoke a cigarette?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really bad.
yeah. When you used to go down, that's when I used to go and buy a packet of menthols. They used to
Yeah,
use,
yeah.
I can't think which one they called them now. Richmond menthols, and I used to go on them whenever I got the colds and keep smoking them. And then as soon as
Yeah.
I started to feel a little bit better, I got rid of them and went back on the real cigarettes. But I've been stopped
Real
5 years this last week. Yeah, well, yeah, the tobacco we want.
regular cigarettes, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I when I was a kid growing up, my mom smoked Virginia Slims, and then she changed over to Marlboro 100s. And I remember
Yeah.
sneaking a couple cigarettes here and there, taking them out with my friends and smoking them when I was probably about 14 or 15 years old. And then when I started working for the City of Newport Beach Utilities Department, my next door neighbor, we carpooled together because we work same place, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're going down to the yard, and he goes, I said, I don't have any cigarettes. He goes, you want one of these? And he gave me a Cool Mild, which is a menthol cigarette.
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
Cool Mild 100. And I smoked one of those, and I go, wow, this tastes pretty good. So I smoked Cools for years, man. I think
Really?
probably at least 10 or 15 years of that
Yeah.
smoking was menthol.
I
Yeah.
smoked Marlboro Lights for
Yeah.
20 years, probably. At least 10 years, anyway. 15 years, probably. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then
Yeah. The one thing that I dropped when I stopped smoking was the amount of time I spent in pubs and drinking beer because it was like it went together. And then the next
Mhm.
time after I went and quit smoking, I went back into the same pub and I just couldn't stay there anymore. Because
Yeah,
when I
no.
walked in, I smelt all the cigarette smoke in the bar. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh shit, I can't be here, man. This
yeah.
stinks. It
No, okay.
really
Hello.
smoked really bad.
Free Rider Vapor. Hello. I think he must be on the apps, or is he on YouTube? He might be on YouTube. The YouTube seems to come through. It's just the Facebook that doesn't. Now, whether it's a setting on my end in my Facebook account, I don't know. But
It says
the apps
YouTube.
does. Yeah, YouTube's coming through. He's on my. It's my personal YouTube channel. I've got two.
You've got two YouTube channels?
Yeah, one is the Late Night Vape Show, and then one under this Mick Reviews.
Late
Because
night.
I do Late Night Vape Show on YouTube. Have you never seen us? We've been going for about a year. Unless you vape, you probably won't be interested in most of the things we talk about.
Yeah. What do you talk about? Vaping?
Well, yeah, all sorts of things. I've got a friend of mine who we started it with. It started last February. I'd been on a few years on YouTube. I keep knocking them out. I'd been on a few. I'd been lucky. I'd sneaked on a few really big American vape shows, and I got the bug for it. And so I was thinking about it, and I got talking to. We used Zoom, and I was talking to this guy in the Zoom room, and then we've become great friends. He's a big friend of mine. So we started this YouTube show February last year, and we've been going since then. We're about nearly 600 subscribers.
Wow,
which isn't the only thing is with vaping channels on YouTube, they're quite buried because obviously it's treated like a banned substance. So there's no they don't shove you very far up in the air.
I'd like to start a show called the Magic Mushroom Channel. That probably wouldn't go over too well in the United States.
No,
it would go well in every other country.
You see some young kid who's doing a little bit of gaming with 3 million people watching him, and he's making a full living out of it at 15 years old. And then there's us that you'll do a review that takes you 2 hours, and you'll get 100 people who's watched it, and you think, I've done really well with that one. They've got that that amount of people waiting in the chat before they even start.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's the
Mm,
gaming industries have grown so exponentially large, and the thing that surprised me the most is that when I heard the statistics on e-gaming as opposed to professional football and stuff like that and professional
yeah,
soccer,
yeah.
e-gaming blows them away in every metric.
Mm,
It's like they're just like whoosh, there's millions of
yeah,
people from around the world that are watching these esports. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
nuts.
I suppose in the last year it's really come out there as well, hasn't it? Because of the with this pandemic, there's been a lot of things that are not going. You know, a lot of sports that you can't go to. Well, you can in this country, but you can't in this country, should I say? So,
Slamdemic.
mm,
Fucking crazy. I still
it's
don't understand all the lockdowns. I heard a guy who is he's what you would consider a macroeconomics professor or macroeconomics expert. He was talking about his name is Jim Rickards. He was talking about the economy and he was looking at these numbers and he analyzes the shit out of this stuff. He's constantly looking at the numbers and he said the lockdowns have caused more deaths than if we were to just leave people out on the streets. And he says he has the numbers to back that up. And he says it's primarily because suicide rates, domestic violence, and all the other stuff that goes along with people who are closed in their homes. They
mm,
have more problems psychologically and the
mm,
communication problems, plus the fact that people are out of work. So that puts them even more on edge. Because when you take someone who's used to going to work 9 to 5 every day, and all of a sudden you take them out of that routine, they have a very difficult time adjusting to not doing anything, or not having a place to go.
it is
It's that
difficult.
whole
Yeah.
idea of just, it's not even the workaholic idea. It's just the fact
No,
that people get
yeah,
very
yeah,
ingrained in those
yeah.
patterns.
Honestly, I don't know. I've it is. I mean, that my own personal belief is I think it's the worst thing that's happened to the human race for a long time. But there's always,
Yeah.
that everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I think that's the most important thing with this. Some people say there's no way I'd have an injection against this, and when I go for the flu injection now, they gave me that this year because I'm 54. I was quite willing to have it, and I'll be really willing to have this other thing because I just want to. Some people believe, and it's up to people what they believe. But some people believe that they're trying to put microchips in your body by injecting you with
Yeah, but the funny thing is all if you think of if you think of that cohort, that group of people in our age range that
yeah,
are kind of like conspiracy theorists and all this other shit that's going on,
mm,
they're thinking that something weird's going on. If you think about all of those people were just like you and me when we were in grade school. We went through a line and we got an injection in our arm from
mm,
some nurse that stuck a fucking vaccine in
mm.
our arms.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Then you just had to go to the lunchroom and go eat in the
Yeah.
cafeteria,
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
the routine for giving out vaccines. You
Yeah.
stand in the
Yeah.
line, and the poor little fuckers wipe
Well,
their
it's,
sticking with
yeah.
a needle. There's no choice.
Yeah. You
They don't have
see,
to even ask their parents or anything. It's just like, oh, get in line. You got to have a
yeah.
vaccine. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everything. I suppose when you see kids with polio in an iron lung, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's because that obviously was a bad thing, wasn't it, years
yeah,
ago? But
yeah.
it's. I mean,
But
I had there was a young. I mean, as I say, and I always say everybody's got. Just because I feel what I feel doesn't mean it's right, and other people are wrong. But and I was talking to a young girl the other week. She said, "No way, I'm having it." I said, "Why is that?" She said, "You don't know what's in it." I said, "Have you ever had a frozen pizza?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Did you look at the box?" She said, "No." I said, "We didn't know what was in that either. Then did you? Did that kill you?" You know what I mean? You
rat
have to put
tail.
sometimes you have to put it in perspective.
There's a chance there could be a rat tail in this pizza. Really, it tastes delicious. Yeah, but you're right though. That's really true because their logic. You think about their logic. It's not very. It's not based in anything. There's no science behind their logic. It's like, oh, we don't want to because we heard that there might be a chance that somebody gets
Hmm.
a side effect. Well, it's
You-
the same thing with those companies. I heard somebody else going, "Oh yeah, they're trying to kill us," and I go, "That doesn't make any logic." Because the big pharmaceuticals, they want to keep people alive so they can keep selling you more drugs.
yes, right, yeah. Yeah, they don't want you to vape to get off cigarettes. They want to sell you things that don't get you off cigarettes. They want to sell you nicotine patches and things like that, so you can go between nicotine patches and cigarettes, and then everybody's happy. Hello, Jay.
Hooked on funk.
Yeah, he's in Holland. He's a Dutchman. He's out in Rotterdam.
Rotterdam.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice though. And talking about Holland, that's where I ordered my first mushroom growing kit,
Right.
magic mushrooms. It was great, man. It was really cool because I was trying to make the magic mushrooms from what's called a spore. So what they do is they'll send you a piece of paper that actually has magic mushroom spores on it. Then you
Yeah.
have to put that in a solution. Then you have to inoculate some mold spore medium, which is
Right.
basically like grain and coffee
Yeah.
grounds and stuff like that. So you have to do everything from scratch. And I tried it and tried it and tried it, and nothing worked because I kept getting different types of mold growing and stuff. And it has to be a very specific environment for these mushrooms to grow, right? So I
Mm.
just got so frustrated. I said, "Fuck it! I'm just going to order one of those kits." And I ordered it from this place in Holland. I got it, and we about a week and a half later, I started seeing these little tiny mushrooms popping up, and I was like, "All right, success." It's nice because these
Never.
mushrooms are great. They're really a good thing because most people don't realize that these companies now are getting a lot of activity because there have been people who have had what's the word for it? Their treatment for dealing with depression has been microdosing of magic mushrooms. So it's not even
Really?
it's such a small amount of these compounds, this psilocybin, that
Mm.
you don't get high from it, you don't get happy from it, you don't get
Mm.
anything. But what it's doing is it's offsetting people's depression levels. And they've
All
done
right.
clinical studies and stuff, and it's really been very positive results. Microdosing.
Mm. Did you microdose then, or did you double dose?
No, no, no. I dosed for getting high, man. I wanted to get happy. I love magic mushrooms. I could eat those
Really?
things every day. If somebody gave them to me, I would eat them every day. I love them.
Are they illegal in Denmark? Hello, Dan.
They're probably illegal in every place. I mean, I don't
Mm.
know where they're legal or not
They're
illegal.
not. They're not legal now in.
I don't
Hello,
care.
Simon.
Really, I don't care because I figure, it's like when I used to see stuff, the illegality of marijuana, and I was thinking, who is it that fucking makes these decisions for us? We're grown adults. We should be able to take a substance that grows naturally. You don't have to do anything to marijuana. You just pull it out of the ground, put it in a pipe, and smoke it. Alcohol
Yeah,
is actually more dangerous than marijuana, and yet it's like, oh yeah, you can buy alcohol, but you
you
can't
can
buy
buy as much
marijuana.
as you want and pay the tax on it. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
personally, for me, the situation in the UK is a lot of people smoke weed. A lot of people obviously buy it illegally. If they were buying it legally and there was a tax on it, and they kept it down to a reasonable sort of price, and then they took the tax and put it into the mental health because it will affect some people if they smoked enough of it. It will affect some people. Um, and if they put that into the mental health services to sort out the people that are poorly from drugs, it would be a big thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't see Dan on Facebook. He says, I use the mighty vaporizer for Herb. He vapes it. Helps his moods and his arthritis.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I tried those CBD oils, taking them orally, like a few drops under the tongue,
Yeah,
CBD oil.
yeah,
But I never really felt any effect of it for my pain relief in my neck or anything. So you don't get any kind of like pain relief from magic mushrooms, but what you do get is they are very uplifting and funny to take because the
Mm,
psilocybin does make you just feel like everything is funny. It's a
mm.
weird.
Mm,
Yeah, I took too. There's like a point where you take too much, and it's a really nasty feeling. Because
mm.
one time I ate like 2 grams of magic mushrooms, and I went to see that movie called A Clockwork Orange.
Oh,
And
right.
and I remember that part where those idiots broke into that woman's house and they started hammering with the big penis and stuff. I was just going, yeah, yeah. And I started feeling sick to my stomach, and I was realizing it was the effect of those friggin' magic mushrooms because I just took too many. I
Yeah, I
started
watched that.
puking.
It was banned over here, that film, until I don't know if it's. I presume it's not banned anymore, but because of the rape scene in there, they actually banned that film over here. I watched it in 1997 in Gran Canaria. It was on a film channel over there when we were in it, and I actually watched it then. I'd never seen it up until then, and so I would have been 30, 31 years old before I was allowed to see that film. And
Comet
I
was
mean,
eaten.
it's not the most amazing film, is it?
It's a great film. I love
Mm.
Stanley Kubrick films, though.
Well, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
But I
he's
mean, when I watched Taxi Driver in UHD about 6 months ago. It's the first time I'd ever seen that, but I actually watched it in
Are you
UHD on
kidding me?
Sky. Never seen it.
Fuck.
I loved it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cracking
That was
film.
a
I
great
really enjoyed
film.
it. Yeah, especially in UHD.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Mm,
amazing.
yeah.
Recommended this channel from YouTube. It's better. It better have an outro. Huh?
He's a friend of mine. He always,
Okay.
when we're doing the show, he'll always come on. He'll say, "I'm only here for the outro," meaning the ending. Means like, "Will you please go away? I want to listen to the song at the end." It's just,
Oh, do you play music at the end of your videos?
yeah. We do a full thing. We do an intro and an outro and a bit in the middle. I've just
Oh, okay.
actually downloaded a different software. I've been using iMovie to make videos, and you're a little bit uh, restricted. It's quite basic. So I downloaded and paid for. It's 54 quid. I paid for. I can never remember the name of anything. My mind's going.
Yeah,
It'll come to me in a minute.
I
Filmora.
do that too.
Filmora Wondershare. Mm.
I
Yeah,
heard that somebody said UCLA study said that too. If you're thinking about something and it doesn't come to you right away, say it'll come to me in a minute, and it's actually a way of triggering your memory to come up, and it
really.
will.
I've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
saying that a lot. They'll be saying that bloke. He always says it'll come to me in a minute. That's all he ever says.
yeah.
And anyway, I downloaded this Filmora Wondershare because it has come to me in a minute. And for the first evening I was using it, I thought, well, if I could get my money back off this, I would, because it's I can't work it at all. I was trying to make these videos, and I kept clipping the end off things, and it'd end up at the beginning and all this sort of thing. Anyway, I persevered with it. Obviously, I'm not doing a lot of work with it, so I've got a full day on Monday, and I'm just making these intro and outro videos. And there's some amazing things. You get the banners to spin in and turn up in the right place and that type of thing. It looks a lot more professional than what the old one was.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought
we're on
about
YouTube.
building one for this platform, like an intro, but then what's her name? Bobby Stamps, Bobby Shadow.
Yeah, I
He
know
had
him. Yeah.
yeah, he had Sarah make him a really bitchin' intro video. It's just like a
Really?
clip, like about a half a minute long, but it's really nice. She did a good job. There's some really cool music, and she did like a video. She did like a photographic montage of some of his other moments on Blab and other platforms.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, she did a good job though. She said she'd make one for me too.
Mm.
Hi guys, watching on both. Oh, you're watching on both Happs and YouTube, or
Go on to Mick Reviews on YouTube, Dan, and then go in that chat there, and it'll come up on that,
oh,
because for some reason it don't come across for Facebook. Don't come across now. Whether it's a setting in my Facebook account, I don't know. I didn't actually start this broadcast. It was Donald's. He invited me in.
the late night vape show on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
that's a
telling
good
them,
name.
the people that's on my Facebook, to go onto my YouTube, because
So I have a question though for vapors then. So if you're using like a marijuana based oil or what is it? What is it? Hemp based? No, not hemp based.
I don't know. I'm not a.
THC. If it has THC in it, uh,
You have to burn
do
it in the
those
oven, don't
oils
you?
cost more money? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It's nicotine, I think. If you're
Yeah,
going to
'cause
make reviews, because Dan's the man on it. He owns a vape shop in Hemford. It's not on my. It's not on the late night vape show, Dan. It's on Mick Reviews on YouTube.
it's on your shopping list when you go on there and use it. I don't use the marijuana types. Okay.
No, I've not. No, I don't know. I used to when I was a smoker. I used to go over to Amsterdam where it was perfectly legal and knock myself out for 3 days, just to have a fairly, not abuse it, just have a fairly chilled out sort of thing.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I don't know. I've got a bong, so I smoke regular weed in the bong, just straight, and I don't mix anything with it. So I think that the nice thing about that is it's kind of like a mellow high. But the one thing I do miss is I remember here in Denmark when I was going to this one pub that I used to frequent, there was one guy that used to come up there, and every time he would sit down at a table next to me, he would just push across the table a little rock of hashish, a little clump of hashish. And I remember smoking that stuff, and it was like the most mellow high I've ever been. Just it was really good. He'd give it to me all the time. Every time he'd see me, yeah, just hand me a little chunk, and I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, can you see in the chat now the lad called Big D Vapes? That's Dan, and he's the man that knows about his.
Get a vaporizer, dude. Don't smoke it. No way, man.
Vaporizer oven. That's what
I like my bong because you know what the bong does that other ways of doing it. The bong, you've got the water filter, so you've got the water filtration that takes out, I don't know, something like 99% of the tars and nicotines and stuff, or the tars. So it's actually a good way of smoking weed. You can mention herb.
I think they're chatting to each other. They're also talking to each other.
Might not be long D weed mushroom talk. Yeah. But the mushrooms though is a different thing. When I eat mushrooms, it's a really nice thing because it's like it puts you in a happy mood, and you don't have to like drink a bunch of beer or anything. It's just like kind of a funny, happy mood. And every commercial on television makes you laugh. Every single one.
I once remember we'd been under somebody tried to break in the house once, and I was under a lot of pressure for a few weeks, and then it just happened that we were going away anyway, and I'd been in this bar in Amsterdam, and I'd done a couple of joints, and all of a sudden somebody said something that wasn't particularly funny. Well, I literally couldn't stop laughing, and it was just obviously the pressure coming out as I'd started to relax with this weed, and I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. It was amazing. And in the end, my mate says, "I'm just going to go outside for a fag." I said, "Why is that?" He says, "So you can stop laughing." He says, "You're going to bloody fall off the chair in a minute." And he came back and I started again. He says, "Oh God," he said, "I'll go for a walk if you don't stop it." Anyway, I pulled myself together, but literally, with tears running down my face. I'm just laughing that now.
Yeah, it's nice to have that kind of a laugh,
Yeah, it's been a while.
Let's see. I'm trying to adjust my screen here, and I don't know. Oh, I know what it is. I've had my camera set in this way, and I can move that way.
I bought one of them Logitech Stream cams. Well, I didn't actually. Santa brought me it, and
I've been playing around with OBS because I did a couple of broadcasts in the past where I've had different screens up, different overlays. So I put myself in a little window. Like today, I put myself in a little window that's called Hex.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun.
I use OBS, but I haven't got it connected up to Happs.
Yeah, it's actually one thing you got to do on this platform is you have to turn off your camera. Right? Do you have a like a Logitech camera connected to your
webcam?
laptop?
Yeah, webcam. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I do normally is when it grabs that camera on this platform, it grabs the camera. So I turn it over to the laptop camera. So then that frees this camera up, and then I go into the studio, and then I switch it over to OBS, and then I hit the virtual cam start button on OBS.
So studio in Happs.
Yeah, the studio in Happs, because for some reason, if you have OBS running when you try to start the studio, it doesn't recognize OBS for some reason. It's like a little glitch, and I tried, just didn't work. So yeah. Hey Simon. Hey Bill. Hey 42. Hey Ryan. Hey
Who was it?
hey biggest
Yes,
dust.
they're all big as DS. Yeah, they're all vape. Some of them are casters on YouTube, and some are guests in the chat on YouTube, obviously, or subscribers to the channels.
So how old is Big D Vapes? Because he says that's incorrect. Still unsafe in bong. Same as shisha.
It's cleaner, but not much.
But not much. Vaporizers are pure vape. I don't give a fuck.
That's what we were saying before. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's the way it is, isn't it?
Fucking high, man. And I'm not afraid of these ideas that, oh yeah, this one's safer for you. Fuck, what kind of pussy would fucking say something like that? One thing's safer than another. Jesus Christ. I've been smoking for all those years cigarettes, and then I go over to a bong, and I'm not smoking cigarettes anymore.
Yep. Yeah.
But one of my good friends smoked nothing but marijuana, like joints, just straight nice fat joints. That's all he ever smoked. He didn't smoke. I think he probably smoked maybe one joint a day, couple joints a day. He was high a lot of times that I knew him. But anyway, he got fucking lung cancer, and I'm just thinking, oh shit. You know,
did he
never
get over
smoked,
it, or did he finish
it? He never smoked
cigarettes.
No, never smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
He got cancer. I was like, oh shit, man. Yeah.
I stopped smoking because I got to the stage where I was wheezing. You know, in the morning I was wheezing, and my wife's asthmatic, and I used to think, oh, she's got a bad chest, and it was me. She'd gone to work, you know, and I'm like, I woke up. It was starting to get like that. And I always used to think, God, I hope I don't get cancer because I love cigarettes. And then I saw these people vaping. I thought, well, that's not for me. It looks stupid. And I used to take the piss out of them, to be honest. And then all of a sudden I tried one, and it wasn't particularly good for a start because the devices 5 years ago weren't amazing. But over the years, it's turned into a hobby as well as everything else. And I absolutely love it. I love it's this last year has been changed completely by starting a YouTube channel and having something else to do, because there's only so much Netflix you can watch before you actually drive yourself insane.
What do I do with all this free time?
Yes. Yeah. Hello, Dave.
Yeah, I think one thing I've noticed about the time that I'm free now is it's freed me up for a lot more time to do live streaming, but I'm outside of the house as much as I can, taking the dog for walks and stuff. I don't really pay attention to too many. Well, you have to in the supermarket. You have to wear a fucking mask in the supermarket because people give you those dirty looks and stuff, you know. But for the most part, I just ignore people.
Yeah. Well, it's I mean, technically we don't have to wear one. They said by law we haven't got to wear a mask when you drive a cab, for the simple reason that sometimes you put your head down like that and it shoves up over your eyes. So they're thinking about that. The amount of people that get in with the, it's like, oh, I can't wear one. Why is that? Oh, I'm exempt. No problem to me. Like I've got one on, and that's the way I think. Cause the amount of people. Well, I don't see that many people.
Those face shields. I've seen bus drivers here in Denmark wearing the plastic face shields because they have glasses on, and they don't want to wear the mask, and it steams up their glasses. So
I found it because I'm only on reading glasses, but I found a way is you get the mask up to there, and then you put the glasses onto there like that, and it'll stop it steaming up. But I only need them for reading, so you can look down your nose when you're reading, whereas when you're driving. I've been doing WhatsApp taxi vlogs today.
I wear this when I go into the supermarket.
Where's your gun?
I'm a gangster.
It's not working with a green screen. You can see the dog's legs hanging out your chin.
Yeah, because it's made of yellow cloth instead of green cloth, so it's on that scale of color that just doesn't work. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wear that bandana because it's easier than one of the face masks because I can have it over my face when I'm walking out and it's freezing cold here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind wearing that when it's cold.
No. I must admit, I've got like that. You go into a shop and you come out and the wind's blowing and it's cold, and you're like, well, I'm pleased I've got this mask on because it's stopping it, it's keeping my face warm. But
Yeah.
it'll be a bit weird when we get to not wearing them anymore. Somebody will get in and think, oh, they ain't got a mask on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When you're like, shit, don't cough, because I've never really been ill for the last, and I usually get absolutely everything that's going past. Because
I got
simple
sick
reason you
about
see so
6
many
months
people.
ago,
Did you?
but I got really sick. I got the
Yeah.
flu and the fever and the body ache, where your joints ache. That's
Yeah.
how it hit me hard. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, man." And I asked the guy from the phone in the hotline. I said, "It's like a COVID line here in Denmark." I called him and I said,
Okay.
"Hey," I said, "Have you had anybody that said anything positive about drinking a beer when they've got a fever or they got body aches?" He goes, "Oh, you want to drink a beer?" And I said, "Yeah, could I?" He goes, "Yeah, it's no problem. Go ahead." And I drank one beer and I felt perfect. I fell asleep literally within minutes of drinking that beer. And I was like, "Oh, this is actually a good medicine." Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah. Alcohol it does help you sleep.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah.
the problem, I mean, now I can't sleep. That's my problem now. I've never suffered with insomnia in my life, but mine's got to going to sleep at 5 o'clock in the morning and waking up at 11. So I need something to break that sort of cycle. Really, I don't mind getting. I mean, 9 o'clock's plenty earlier for me because I don't start very early. I don't
Yeah.
start 2 in the afternoon, but I really don't like getting up at 11. You just feel like crap all the time.
I've had lots of nights where, lately I've stayed awake literally all night and I
Mm,
can't fall asleep. My brain's just
yeah,
constantly working.
yeah,
Yeah. And I think it's because too is like I'm not getting the normal amount of just activity that I normally would, just moving
mm.
around.
Yeah. Going to the bar and talking to people and socializing and stuff. I mean, this is all right. It's not a bad second, but you do need to interact with people. Not had
Yeah.
any bugs since about this time last year. Strange what cleaning your hands and staying away from people does. That's right, exactly. The amount of people though who they'll get in a cab and you take them to the doctors and they'll get in and they'll cough twice to let you know that they're not very well. Hello,
Yeah,
Johnny
the
on
dirty
Facebook.
bastards.
Yes,
The
right, yeah.
dirty fuckers. You know what? That used to really piss me off too. Is like the amount of people when I would go to work in Denmark. There's a lot of people that are fucking workaholics. They
Yeah.
don't care if they're dying with a fever. They will still go into work, and I'm like, going, why are you coming into work? Because you're fucking all of us up in your department. You're in
Yeah.
close contact with us.
Mm,
And
yeah.
I remember I was sick for about a week, and I had this flu that was going around. This was years ago, and I go over to I said to my boss, I said, "Hey, I got to take off some time because I'm not able to focus on my work." He goes, "Yeah, take off a couple of days." And I said, "Okay." So I literally took off 2 days. I go home, rest up. I feel better. I come back to work. My nephew is working in my department. So this is my wife's brother's son. He's
Yeah.
working in
Yeah.
my department, right?
Yeah.
Him and I go to pick up the same cola, and he goes, "Is that yours?" And I go, "Yeah, it's my cola." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just drank from it." And he was like coughing and sneezing. I'm going, "Why in the?" And sure enough, man, I was sick as a dog the very next day. That was really bad. It hit me hard. Like,
I
ah,
had it years ago where I picked a woman up and she looked like death. And I said, "Where are you going to? I'm off to the doctors. And I feel awful." And by 9 o'clock at night, I was in bed with the same thing. That
yep,
was
yep.
I don't know what that was. It was like a cold flu thing. And it just floored you. That was years and years ago. She's been dead years now. But it was
Oh, okay.
awful.
Do you go piss on her grave? Bitch, you
Oh,
got me
no,
sick.
probably not. It's probably a little bit over the top. Yeah, Dan just said on there. I've been doing taxi vlogs on our new WhatsApp group over there, and I've worked out that since COVID, I've got another two chins. And when you sit there like that taking a video, there's got this. So I've worked it out now. If you sit like this, I can't see him.
Yeah,
But, it's life. You can't do anything about it. You can't worry about losing weight when you're going through all this crap, can you?
yeah.
Anyway, I better go and leave you to it.
What's that?
So I better go and leave you to it. You've been, I've been hijacking your call for long enough, have I? Or are you quite all right?
No. I don't. That's what I call it, a hangout. I don't give a shit, man. I'm just here to hang out and talk. No, I was going to say that here in Denmark, when they spread that, they call it gul. It's all in all of the pig stalls around Denmark.
Mm.
Pigs outnumber people in Denmark. I don't know if you know that. There's more pigs in Denmark than there are people. But in all of these farms, they take all of the pig shit and they put it into these big vats, and it just sits for weeks and weeks and months. So then there's guys with big trucks that come and suck it up, put it in a container, and then they spread it on the fields.
All right.
For fertilizer. Well, it seems like every time when they do that, at every single year that they do that, I come down with some kind of flu or some kind of, bug. Yeah, every year since I moved to Denmark, and that's been 20 years. So every time I just go, oh shit, they're spreading the shit. When am I going to get sick? And it sounds like it's weird correlation, but I'm sure that there's something to it.
Hello, Eddie. Eddie Smoke in Italy. He owns a vape shop. He said, I remember you, but the Brexit gave me some problems to ship. No problem, mate. Don't worry about it. It'll be expensive. We're finding a little bit. Yeah, he's from Italy. Yeah, he owns a. Yeah. Catch you later, Simon. They started putting obviously you've got to pay for things to come into the country now from other European places. Even like Southern Ireland, you've got to put a customs form on something. You've got to declare what you're doing.
I saw something on the news that time when the truck drivers were sitting at the borders and they couldn't get through because they basically closed down one of the borders.
Yeah, did you?
And I thought to myself, I was thinking, this is the European Union. You shouldn't have that happen, because what they should have done in that case is they should have said to all of these truck transport companies, they should have said, hey, in 1 week, we're going to close down the borders, and that means that they're going to be closed. So that means that none of your trucks are going to get through. So you need to plan ahead for this so you can avoid these kind of, backups in these stupid lines. Because I don't understand why they just kept on running the trucks. They were just
coming up to it was coming up to the end of the Brexit negotiations, and I think it was the French sort of saying, this is what's going to happen if you don't behave. I think that's and it was to do with COVID as well, obviously, but I think that was a lot of it what was going on. And then, trying to put pressure on
Simon 62. Same to you, Jay. See you, Simon 62.
Yeah,
I get to read all the comments that are coming to you.
Yeah. It's cool. I didn't realize that would happen. I just thought I'd be on your basically like on YouTube. I'd be on your channel, and unless I went onto that channel through another device, I wouldn't be able to see anything about it. I didn't realize that it all came up.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool because I like the layout and stuff, but I do like the connectivity with all of this stuff. I mean, everything is connected to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope.
Periscope's soon not to be, isn't it? April the 1st, it goes away.
Yeah, my birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've when it first came out, Periscope, I used to spend hours watching people chattering away over there, and it just got so. You do a broadcast on Periscope, and you look, and 2 people have seen it. Is that you downloading images to the right-hand side?
Yeah, I just wanted to try something out because I wanted to see what this one looked like when I put it up on this screen. I think it puts us into a grid.
So you could actually get 3 in there.
4 up there. Yeah, it puts us into a grid.
Right. So could another 2 people be there then?
You can have 6 people on this platform, 6 people on screen at the same time. Yeah.
When they get there, because obviously it's still in beta, so you have a little problem sometimes with things freezing and being a little bit behind and that type of thing. But it would be when they just sort of shine the finer points up, it'll be a good option, because to broadcast onto YouTube now, you need a Zoom room, which you have to pay for, unless you're going on there on your own, when you can just use the go live feature. So you've
Zoom
got that
room.
to pay for. Yeah, Zoom room. Yeah, and then what you do then, I put OBS over the front of it, and then I go out that way, and that's the way we get more than one on a show.
Why don't you just invite people onto this platform so they can be your
this was
guest?
before this. This was before, wasn't it?
Oh,
This was
before this platform was. Oh,
Yeah, we've
okay.
been going. I mean, how long has this been going? It just appeared.
I
All of
don't
a
know, about
sudden.
a year maybe, or
Has it
6
really?
months. I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe a year or 6 months or so. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But before this, I was using StreamYard or Restream. Restream's bitchin'. Restream has always been my go-to platform.
Yeah, well, at the time when I tried it, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I sort of did it to. I sent out to 2 YouTube destinations at once, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I did. It was just this is the first one that's we've actually got to work onto YouTube. Because I tried Get Vocal and it just, I don't know what happens, but I couldn't get it to go. You'd put all the details in, but it never actually went out. But this one, as soon as you put it into the thing, flick the switch over, it's working in there, and the chat works. So, which is a bonus.
It works really good. Yeah. So far, I've actually been pretty impressed. The first 2 episodes that I did were glitchy, and after that, I rose a stink though, because on that second time that I started, chatting with someone, we got like 15 minutes into the conversation, and the fucking screen froze. I was like, oh shit, because this was really an interesting conversation. So I wrote to the developers and the owner. I said, I did a video just bitching and moaning about it. I was really whining about it. And then they wrote me a letter. They wrote me a letter back, and they said, "We're really sorry about this. We're working on the servers." So it was something to do with AWS, Amazon Web Services.
Is that what they use?
They were the company that was supplying the servers for the platform. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that makes sense because Amazon sucks.
Yeah, they're not. I suppose they've got to get servers from somewhere, though, haven't they? They've got to, and don't start the numbers. Don't start on the numbers game. They've got to do it somewhere because they can't have their own unless they put an awful lot of money into it, I suppose. Who is it behind it then? Is it what company is behind it? Is it just a group of
sometimes
investors?
Yeah. Sometimes it's a glitch in the software because they have to match up their software with any kind of RTMP tools. So it's like you're trying to match your software with their software, and all of the syncing has to be, the code has to be written right. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But now that we've got some new 5G networks and stuff coming in the future, it'll take care of a lot of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Frangdenperded. I'm off. Take care.
Who's that?
Keep safe. Why does everybody say keep safe? Why do they say die, you sneaky bastard?
It's a new thing now. You've got
it. What a bunch of fucking pussies! Like, take care, be safe.
That's what we like. We're all like that now, aren't we? Got to give clap for the nerves.
I think we feel too fucking nice these days. Oh, I'll say a prayer for you. Fuck that.
Let's all get angry. Fuck it. Soylent Green is made out of people. Hello, Jeremy Furman on Facebook. How you doing, mate?
I keep seeing a lot of these people on this platform. There's so many people on this platform that are sitting there reading the Bibles and stuff and preaching and stuff. I'm like, Jesus, get out of that bullshit, man. You guys are just stuck in your weird bubbles. Really. I mean, some people are just so far into that shit. They're the kind of people that voted for Trump, They're fucked up. Now that asshole's gone. Somebody said the other day, I thought, this is really funny. They said that they thought that he was going to go out because he was so pissed off that Twitter banned him and Facebook banned him. They said that he was thinking about building his own network. I was thinking, could you imagine? That would be like fucking giving a network to Hitler, man. Yeah, sure, come on. Fucking racist bastard.
Yeah, can you imagine? You can only come on here if you're a supporter. This is the way it is.
TNN, Trump Network News.
It's definitely very quiet on Twitter without him. Not that I go on there very often, but it definitely is.
I never use Twitter. I mean, the reason I don't use Twitter, though, and I don't look at network news, I haven't looked at a network news channel in probably 20 years. It's because there's so many weird biases that are built into those platforms that
Yeah.
there's not any real news there. There's
Mm.
really not any good news. And when I hear them talking about cryptocurrencies and stuff and just literally saying stuff that's false and incorrect, it's
Mm.
really frustrating. You just want to take those stations and burn them to the ground. But not that I would, because I'm not a fucking terrorist. But I mean, you know what I mean? Some of those network news channels are really, the really bad thing about them is they are spreading misinformation, so people actually get confused, and that's really not fair. It's not fair, because you know how many people would have probably invested in some form of cryptocurrency in the past 10 years if there had not been so much misinformation spread. The numbers of people would be a lot greater than it is today.
Mm.
It
Yeah,
would be
that's what they
like
do.
me saying, those vapes are, extremely bad for your health. And then
Well, that's
for some reason that information kind of sticks in your head. And then you
yeah,
decide, oh, I'm not going to use a vape machine anymore.
that's what they've
And it's
done.
the
That's
same
what they've
thing
done
with
in America.
cryptocurrencies. There's so much that misinformation spread about cryptocurrencies that there's a lot of people who just say, oh, fuck it, I don't want to deal with those things.
Yeah, that's what they've done in America with vaping. They've completely destroyed an industry.
There goes the review channel.
But it's all right. It's on about. It's because we mentioned Trump. I normally go to David Icke for my daily news. That definitely gets rid of the review channel. One bit, if you mention that word,
David
they got
Icke
used to
for
get
my
rid of you.
daily news.
Do you know who David
David,
Icke is?
no, I don't.
No,
The name sounds familiar,
Google
but
it.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, he was actually a sports presenter over here years ago, and then he decided he was the Messiah of God or something like that. And
Oh, I thought he was going to be one of those political pundits.
well, he'll sit there and tell you about the all sorts of shit.
Oh, okay.
5G
Oh, he's a religious
tires.
fanatic?
No, he's just a fanatic. 5G towers will give you cancer and all this shit.
Oh, okay. So where do you get your news, Donald? I get my news from the only fucking source there is, and that's the Al Jazeera, and I get it from CGN, the Chinese network, and Al Jazeera, and I get it
I know,
from where is it? What else?
I know a lot of people watch Al Jazeera.
Yeah, Al Jazeera is actually not bad. The thing is there's sometimes there's some kind of a little bit of a bias there in one direction or another, but it doesn't really matter. It's like, but most of the time, if I'm really looking for something interesting to like for entertainment, I'll look onto YouTube for documentaries and stuff. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I
And
don't watch network news though. I
the BBC
20
over here,
not that shit.
if you ever used to watch anything on the BBC, it used to be factually correct, and it just got to the stage after after the Brexit vote, it was just and it was somebody else's agenda, and they would just talk about anything. They got it worked out that you wouldn't be able to take your dog to the vets in Northern Ireland, or if you got off Northern Ireland in an aeroplane, you had to sail back by a boat via Scotland, and all this. It was just on and on and on and on. It was just their own agenda. They never
Negative
wanted the UK.
news.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
never
and
wanted to
false
save Europe.
news. Yeah. It's amazing too, because when I went back to the States after being here in Denmark I was here for 7 years before I got to go back to the States. And I
Mm.
turned on the television at my mom's house and I was realizing, I was just watching it. I was just thinking, man, these people live in a bubble. After being out of it for so long and then seeing what the network news channels actually pump down the throats of these people, I was thinking, fuck, what a nasty situation they're in.
Somebody was telling me if you tell a group of people a lie for a month, after a month, if you try and tell them the truth, they won't believe you.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, if you remember too, you watched that video of if it was George Bush, the younger one.
Oh yeah,
not Judge W, the fucking crazy one. Anyways,
yeah,
he said after 9/11, remember when 9/11 happened?
yeah, yeah.
He said certain words so many times they went back and counted it and said, like he said certain words over 57 times within one speech. The
Right.
one word got said 50 some odd times. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the way you indoctrinate
yeah,
and
yeah.
fucking
Okay.
brainwash people.
Yeah, 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 it is, yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
terrible
that was the
thing.
idea.
Weapons of mass destruction was the word.
Oh
Was
yeah,
the
yeah,
word. Yeah,
yeah.
weapons of mass destruction. They said that in this one particular presidential speech, it was said something like 50 some odd times. It's like, Jesus, are you kidding me?
Well,
It's
we
just
had it
like
over here.
that's
We
how
had the
Trump
same
used
thing.
to fucking,
Mm.
melt the brains of all of his followers. He
Yeah.
would just repeat shit over and over again.
Oh, they did it over here. And it was Tony Blair was whatever Bush said. Tony Blair repeated, and in the
Yeah.
end, we're all basically convinced that they had all these weapons of mass destruction, and we need to get in there. We need to get in there, and then they used to report on different things going on in these places. And they would chop the camera footage to that close because they say, "Oh, look at all these people pulling this statue down." And I watched one of them when they were putting that big one down with the hollow legs off the top of that thing, that Saddam one. I mean, it was an absolute awful
Hussein.
man. He was a murderer, wasn't he? But that type of thing. But
Saddam
um,
Hussein.
yeah, yeah. But there was about 20 people watching this thing, and they were making out that there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah. They don't even have that many people in the city.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
This is like one family. This
Mm.
motherfucker wiped out the rest of them. My friend
Yeah, yeah.
who used to live in the Middle East, he said he reported some of the fucking heinous shit that guy did, and he
Oh,
said he was a real bad son of a
it was.
gun. And he said too that he goes, most people from the Western world didn't know what was going on because there was just no news coverage. It was just like
Yeah.
the shit was going on and nobody knew about it.
He was gassing his own people, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was just gassing them, and his kids
The,
were off. The two lads were absolute brutes. They used to just they would rape and murder every young kids, young girls walking down the road. They would just grab them, and nobody ever said anything. Nobody could say anything. That's what they used to do.
yeah, yeah. What do you want, fucker? He's like, hey man, I got to go outside. You got to go outside. You want some liver pate? He's like, yeah, I could use some liver pate. That's good stuff, man.
Is that what you feed him on the what is it the dog food version, or do you get him at the real gear?
No, no, no. I give him real human, really good quality liver pate that I buy from the supermarket. It's for humans, but it's nice because it's this big tray and it weighs about a kilo. So I can feed him on that for like a week, but I give him his regular dog food as well. The
Yeah.
liver pate is just like a treat when he goes out and does his business and he gets back inside real quick. He goes and shits on the neighbor's lawn. It's
On a
okay
cold
because I
day.
pick it up in the morning.
Back it.
No, I pick it up in the morning because it's like,
Right.
yeah.
It's nice to be
I had
nice.
one woman, my next door neighbor, she was accusing me of letting him shit in her backyard. And I go, he doesn't go in your backyard. And she goes,
Mm.
well, yeah, he does because I found shit in the backyard. And I go, no, no, no. And then she made the mistake. She took some of the shit and put it into my mailbox, right, in a plastic bag.
Oh, no.
I opened it up and I opened the bag and I could smell that it was cat shit because there's a distinctive smell of cat shit.
It smells
And I go,
awful.
stupid bitch. I said, this is cat shit. And I told her, I said, hey, I told you he was not doing that business in your backyard. And the reason I knew that too is because the times that I've had him on the leash, I could go for like weeks with him on the leash because I ever either had the flu or something and I didn't want to go for a walk without him. So I just
Yeah.
put him on the leash and go outside. So there was one period of time when she goes, he just shit in my yard again. I'm like, no, he didn't. I go, I know it wasn't him. And then so she just put that plastic bag in my box. Shit.
That's quite polite sort of abuse, isn't it? Really, putting plastic bags full of shit in. Anybody else would have just thrown it at your windows. No, she's she's put it in a plastic bag before she put it in your mailbox.
Yeah, but it's
That's
like I
polite.
told her, I said, you should have had this analyzed first and taken a swab of his shit, wiped his ass, and said, nope, no, we don't have a DNA match. We can't convict. If the shit doesn't fit, you can't convict. O.J. Simpson.
Poor
If
old
liver
dog.
don't fit, you can't
There's, def-
convict.
there's definitely a difference between cat and dog shit. God, it
Yeah,
stinks. Cat stuff.
yeah, there is a definite smell difference. Yeah, that's for sure.
I said that one around he
Yeah.
wasn't very well. He actually crapped in the house, which is the first time he's done. I think he's done it. He's 6 years old, and he's probably done it twice in 6 years, maybe 3 times. That's how I
Yeah,
knew he wasn't very well. And then he's just started um, sitting about, not moving himself, not moving
yeah,
anywhere, and then he wouldn't eat. And so I got him down the vets, and he said, "Oh, he's a bit older. So he's only 6. The other one was 22 when it died."
yeah.
And he said it could be cancer. He says, "Do you want me to put him on a drip?" And I said, "No, I don't. I don't want to be that happening to him." I said, "Just try him with an injection, see how he gets on with that." Anyway, I was starting to sort of think, I wonder if he has got something. And then today he's come round, started eating again. Can't wait to go
Yeah.
out.
He's only been sick ever once, really bad, where I had to take him to the vet. And I said to the vet, I said, "Hey, what's going on with him?" He goes, "Oh, nothing. He's probably just got some kind of like bacterial infection." And,
Mm.
he was a little bit backed up and constipated there for one day. And then I said, "Okay." So he gives him some antibiotics and some medicine. He gives him a shot. And I think it was like a week later, he puked in the house. And he
Mm.
just couldn't control it. It just like came out of nowhere. I go, Jesus
Mm.
criminy. But it was primarily because he had eaten a whole big old huge bowl of food. And I didn't realize he ate all that food. And then I was
Yeah.
giving him some liver pate on top of it because I felt sorry for him. And it was just like
Think
way
about
too
it,
much
isn't it?
food for me. He's stupid because he'll eat as much as I give him. It's like, no, we better just
There's a lot of
make
dogs are
make
like
your
that.
portions smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there are certain dogs where they would literally eat themselves to death. Cats, I mean,
yeah,
you get a tomcat and cut his nuts off, and then all he's going to think about is sleeping and eating. But even normal tomcats will keep themselves thin if they've still got their bits with them. But obviously, you don't want them in the house because they spray. But no, this one's fine. But say he's very, very rarely actually does anything in the house, and that's how I knew he wasn't very well.
yeah. Yeah, I've heard people say too that Jack Russells are really hyperactive and stuff. He's not.
Mm.
He's super mellow. He's really
Is he?
mellow.
Mm.
Yep. I think
Can
it's
be.
because he's around me all the time.
Mm.
When he's
Smaller,
around my
smaller
ex-wife, he's real nervous.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Smaller dogs can be a bit yappy anyway, can't they?
He never yaps.
No.
He only barks if somebody comes to the door.
Oh,
That's the
that's
only time.
exactly what it needs to be doing, isn't it?
Yep. And he sounds like a bigger dog, so people actually back away from the door. God damn, what do you got
That's,
in there?
that's
It's a
his
pit
job.
bull, fucking
I once
Rottweiler.
got
Back
I
up.
once got bit I once got bit by a Jack Russell. I'll tell you what, it hurt. He's got teeth like needles straight through my shoe.
Oh yeah, yeah. It does hurt. I've gotten
Mm.
just accidentally hit. He caught me right there in the crotch of the between the thumb and the
Oh,
forefinger. Got me right there. It's like, oh shit, man.
yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah, they can puncture your skin, can't they? Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm going to
I had
disappear,
a
Donald.
cat. I had a cat once though that bit me in the thumb, and the tooth punctured my nail and went through my thumb.
God,
It bit me so hard that the eye tooth went
yeah,
completely through my thumbnail.
I can imagine that pain. I bet that was
Oh
awful.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
fucking furious. But the cat was in shock because the next door neighbor, this is when I live in the desert, and this was a big gray Persian cat. It was a monster. He ate lizards, he ate birds, he ate anything that moved. And the thing is he was walking across the field or between my house and my neighbor's house, and there's like 5 acre parcels, so it was a good distance. And all of a
Mm.
sudden, this dog named Cowboy, he came out of nowhere and just bit the cat right in the hindquarters.
Oh, God.
Bit him really hard,
Mm.
and he broke. I think when he bit down on the cat, he broke the hindquarters, like he broke the hips.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's why the cat, when I went, I was just in shock. I went, it was like about, must have been like about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
And I went over to pick up the cat because I heard it just meowing and moaning.
Mm.
I went to pick it up. And as I picked it up, the cat just reached around, went, "Ow," and bit me. I was like, ah, fuck.
Did you have to
But
be
then
put down?
I called the vet and I said my cat was just attacked by a dog, and I think that its back leg is broken, maybe its hip. And they said, well, just bring it in as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And as I was on the phone, the cat just died. It just
Right.
stopped
Down the
breathing,
shop. Yeah, down the shop.
or
That's
blood
shocking.
loss or something
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it
yeah.
got hit hard. Yeah,
That's awful.
could have had some internal bleeding. I'm not really sure,
Yeah.
but the dog hit it hard, man. I was like
Mm.
going, wow, where did that dog come from? Because Cowboy was one of these kind of dogs. He was a mixed breed. He looked like he was probably like some kind of a German Shepherd and one of those tall Afghan hounds. It just had really long legs, real skinny dog, but fast, super
Mm.
fast. It could chase down a jackrabbit out in the desert and just
Mm.
nail it. When it came at the cat, it was like the cat was just like walking by casually, and it didn't hear or see Cowboy coming at it. And as he came at it, he was running like full speed, and he just went bam and bit it in the hindquarters. Yeah,
Mm.
pretty bad.
It is bad. Yeah, you don't. It's something you don't want to ever see, do you? But it's just nature, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
It's clear on
And
YouTube,
then
anyway.
and it was a bad timing too, because I mean, like 2 weeks later, my wife and I we had ordered a bunch of chickens from a farm where we get them in
Mm.
the boxes. You get the little baby chickens in a box,
Mm. Mm.
and they're live chickens, and they send them in the post. So I get 100 chickens, or no, at that time we ordered 50. But
Mm.
these chickens by this time were already almost fully grown. They were
Oh, dear.
almost full size chickens, and they're in the chicken coop. And we had a pretty good sized chicken coop.
Yeah.
And the cat got killed this one day, and like 2 weeks later, two big boxers dig underneath the fence into the chicken coop. They get into the chicken
Oh,
coop and kill every single one of our chickens except for one. One survived. I
shit.
was like, "Fuck, man."
Are they allowed to run out of control then? Dogs in Denmark, or is it
No,
just?
they had tags and everything on them, but I just took them and shot them. I shot both those dogs.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I just took my 22 out there and just shot them both. But I was really pissed. Not only that they were just free and they were out there,
Mm.
killing people's animals, but
Mm.
the fact that they didn't eat the birds. They weren't wild dogs. They were basically
Yeah.
people's
Just
pet
doing it for
dogs. They
fun.
just got into
Yeah.
the chicken coop, and it was like sport for them to just kill all the birds.
They say that with foxes, though, don't they? The foxes will do that. They'll go in and they'll eat one and kill the rest. It's just
Yeah,
the way they are.
yeah.
Right, I better disappear, Donald. It's been absolutely smashing. I don't know how you leave this. This. What do
Oh,
you
it
have to do
says
to
right
leave?
there where it says exit
Where's that?
down below the screen. So
Oh, there.
we're up here, just right there. It says exit.
Yeah, down the bottom. Yeah, it says
Yeah.
Mike camera Mike.
And I can also boot you out. And I didn't even know I could do this because where it says invite people, if you open
Yep.
up that menu when you
Yep.
have a guest on, if you open up that menu, you have this list of people that you've invited. But if you click uninvite, it boots them right out of the room.
So if you get somebody that's playing up, somebody
Yeah, but
that's.
I did that accidentally when Bobby was on, and I go, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know that's what that would do." It literally just takes them right out of the room.
I need to catch up with Bobby. I ain't spoken to him for a while. I've got him on my Facebook. I look at his Facebook things. I used to talk to him on Blabber, and I think I had a couple of hours with him once on that Get Vocal app one night as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I need to catch up on him. I probably will do at some point. Anyway, thanks
Yeah.
very much for inviting me in. I'll
It's like
disappear.
almost 2 o'clock in the morning here.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it's 1:45 here. Must have been on. How long have I been on? An hour? Must have been at least an hour.
Something like that. Stay safe.
So I still wish the same to you, Donald.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it's the same time.
Is that what you guys do in England? Yeah.
Unless your name's Graham and you do this.
Okay.
I'll catch you another day, Donald. Really nice to speak to you. Have another
Yeah,
catch-up.
thanks for stopping by, Mick. It was great. It
You're
was
more
a lot of fun.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks for everybody coming by in the chat. Appreciate your patronage and chatting up the chat bar. So if you haven't, hope you all have a good night. Fuck you all. Yeah, there you go. If you haven't all checked out the Happs app, you might want to come over and check it out sometime. It's actually kind of cool because when you're in the chat room, there's a few other things that you can do. But I mean, regardless if with you want to donate to somebody's chat or not, but they've set it up so you could do that on this platform. I don't really know that that's something that's that important for a lot of people that are YouTubers, you know. But yeah, because I mean, I know a lot of people that just specifically go and they put all their content onto YouTube. So yeah, 2 new comments. Let's see. Just kidding. Stay safe. Okay. Yeah, that's that one. Hooked on the funk. Thanks a lot. Everybody have a good evening. Depending on where you're at, if you're having a good morning, I don't know. I'm in Denmark, so it's almost 2 o'clock, so I got to get some sleep. Thanks for everybody for coming by. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Maybe. Bye. Would you like fries with that, pleb?